Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to technically the pre-show part of the Spawncast 424. I was hanging out. I thought, I'll go live and we'll play the game of who gets here first on the panel, so you guys can see how this happens in real time. And I thought I'd say hi to some of the people who are already here anyway. So we'll hang out for a bit here. What's going on, Noah? Shout out Noah Sanchez, member there. Shout out. Got Brian Fitzpatrick. Is it a good bet Nintendo won't announce Metroid Prime 2 and 3 this week coming? Also, best to Sean's stepdad. I think we were going to... So I've been curious how Nintendo would approach Metroid Prime 2 and 3. 2 is on the GameCube. That's easy. You can just put it on the NSO app and be like, there it is. You just play it just like that. 3 is the hard one because that is a Wii game. So the question then becomes, how do you move that over? Do you just release it as maybe a $20 thing, a $30 thing, and just drop it as is? Changing up some of the motion controls, kind of like Skyward Sword. That, though, took a bit more effort, and then it cost more. So Metroid Prime 3 is the only thing that's tripping me up because the path for 2 is just so obvious. Yeah, Rip Hogan, RGT going to be all tore up. Yeah, Sean's been going through it. I think he's off tonight, so he'll be hanging back a bit. Got some other people actually coming through for him. So we'll have a good panel tonight as everyone comes through. They shadow drop remasters of the game. They absolutely could do that too. Like, that's what I mean. Because if I want Metroid Prime 4 as soon as possible, of course, and if they drop Metroid Prime 4 maybe in November, which would, again, it would annoy me because that's months away, but I'd understand it if they went, yeah, we also need to get 2 and 3 out there. They could shadow drop it though. They absolutely could. 2 and 3, like I'm focusing in on NSO, the GameCube app, when they legitimately could just do the Pikmin 1 and 2 thing and just release it as a double pack and just, here you go. So, okay, Evan's first one in. Evan's first one, people. He's usually first one here anyway, so good to have Evan here.
Yep.
Yes. Also, Ozzy passed as well. Yeah, it was a week, man. That's true, Medallion. It was a week. It's a week. So Sean actually showed his Hogan room though in the video. I don't know if you saw that, Evan. He actually showed it.
I think we've seen his Hogan room a few times.
He's like shown us like stuff that he gets and stacks it, but he kind of did like a little panning shot of it recently.
I'm pretty sure he was on his phone once before one of these and he just walked through it. He's been hella proud of that room.
It was kind of like it was like a closet with Hogan stuff in it, but he's been stacking it. He has a lot of signed stuff, and so he has like a whole memory wall of this. So I mean, he's dedicated to that. Somebody said they liked it. What video did you just put out, Evan?
It's just a rules update. That's all.
Okay.
I'm still trying to get an actual, like, more long-term evergreen video out, but we'll see. I might have to reshoot it because I've been watching it and not liking it. So,
Frostbite, how's everyone enjoying Donkey Kong Bonanza? I finished it. I'm in the post game now, and I think I'm getting close to the end of the post game. You need like certain amounts of bananas and stuff naturally to do stuff. So I'm working through it. Cody Bishop says, should I buy Cyberpunk on Switch 2 or PC? You have a 4070. Well, Cyberpunk's going to look a lot better, obviously, and run better on your PC, just up front. The thing, though, that's interesting about Cyberpunk is it does have cross progression or cross save, so you can move from Switch to PC back to PC. So if you have a gaming PC handheld, then obviously get on PC and then go. Yeah, so that's kind of the thing is like if you get it twice, technically you can move back and forth.
The atmosphere on PC will be a lot more complete because all the stuff I've seen of the Switch version, you're basically driving around a near empty city because it just can't deal with all those people at one time.
OJ is number 3. I'm actually surprised. I thought you were doing your pre-show, OJ. I thought you would have been like in right at the end.
Well, everyone said they're starting early, so I was like, you didn't put that you're starting early, John.
I was watching TV and my screen over here flipped to him just sitting in front of the camera.
Tell me that you're starting early. What is this?
I was just hanging out. I was hanging out with the good people who were here early. There's like people were stacked up. I was like, I'll go live and say hi to them while I'm hanging out.
You can't do that, John. That's not fair. That's not in the contract.
sometimes I get here way early and I'm like, it's like once a month, if that it happens. Like, I gotta go live and hang out with the people. Look, Fransby, maybe Todd Howard, we're not sure, give the 20 Spawn Wave membership. So look, if you're here early,
let's
people
go.
in the chat, you may have just called a membership courtesy of Fransby. So you gotta drop
Shout
some
out
thanks
to
there in the
Fransby,
chat.
man. He came by the stream as well for me too. So big love to Fransby. Big love, man.
Justin asked, what do you think of the new Battlefield 6? Well, we've seen gameplay snippets of it so far. The 31st, they're going to have like full gameplay reveal. That's when I'll really be able to get a feel of it, I guess. But I like what I'm seeing versus what we had in 2042. At the very least, it looks more complete. MVG is here. There he is. Ooh, the digital clip shirt on and everything.
You guys hear me?
Yep.
Yes, sir. We can hear you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I guess it gets that microphone.
What's that?
I mean, he sounds good. He sounds good.
Yeah, it's got to be coming from that microphone. It's probably
It's either that or the webcam. I don't think it's the webcam.
No, that sounds too good to be the webcam. Yeah. You're good. You're good. See, people, I told people, see, wow, I told you. I had the big guest coming out tonight.
It feels like it's been forever since I've been on the same show with MVG. I don't know.
Yeah,
The last
you
time-
been ducking me, OJ.
What?
I don't know.
Last time, were you on last time? MG was. I'm trying to remember. I think you may have been out. I think you might have been off that time when he was here last.
I think so, maybe.
The last time I was on with OJ, my handle was N64 is greater than GameCube.
That's right. That's right.
That was a while ago. That was a while ago.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, good to see you here, man.
You too, man. You too.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Yeah, I was just hanging out early. MG. I was like, I'll go live early. If we finish up early, just jump on rematch for a little bit.
I mean, we all know that GameCube's not better than 60 or 64 is not better than GameCube.
Oh, gosh.
I'm just saying. I just want to put that out there. Just
love that you almost had the Freudian slip at the top there, though.
Well,
the truth comes out now.
No, there's no truth.
Well,
Daniel Harrison in the chat said N64 is the greatest. I mean,
and that's all we need.
The people have spoken.
About to get that chromatic N64, which I should have brought that. I have that chromatic Game Boy. I should have brought it upstairs with me. I was checking out again the other day. That's they even send you the double A's. They send you have the same mod retro on it. They have their own double A's too. They send you. Should do a video with that eventually.
I just want to say, can you play Metal Gear Solid on the N64? I just want to ask that question. Can you play Metal Gear Solid? How about Metroid Prime? How about that? How about Fire Emblem? Can you play Fire Emblem?
There was a Metroid game in development on the N64 at some point.
I just got to ask that guy who said that. I just want to say, can you go play Metroid, Fire Emblem, or Metal Gear Solid?
You can play Metroid through an emulator on the N64, Super Nintendo, Super Metroid. Play that on there. That'll work.
Or how about like one of the GOATs? How about Resident Evil 4? Can you play Resident Evil 4 on there? Nope.
What about Death Stranding?
Yeah, that crusty version of Resident.
Whoa!
Crusty version of Resident Evil. What? You want to play that, bro? You better play that on PlayStation 2.
That's the original. That's the original Impossible port, right there.
I mean, possibly don't want to play that.
Yeah, N64's got no mercy though. WWF.
That's true. I will give it wrestling games. I will give it the wrestling games. The wrestling stuff is very good, but Metal Gear Solid's better.
Oh, Cyber Taurus is apparently starting early as what summons MVG, but GameCube is still better. Man.
Tough crowd.
Josh says, keep RGT85 and Stepdad in your prayers. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I think that's everyone there because I was just hanging out with some of the good people in chat before we went live. I think we're just like Josie and Celia and stuff will pop in as we go. It's almost 9 now. So we can start episode 424. Keep an eye out. Some other people might pop in. Maybe another mystery guest. You don't know. Could happen. So let me go around here. MVG, how's it going, MVG? It's been a little while since I've seen you.
Doing well. I was had my European vacation last week, so I was out of the country for a bit, but it's good to be back, and it's good to be back on the show. It's been a minute.
You're just posting a bunch of it looked like you're just posting a bunch of like desktop backgrounds.
Hey man,
some of those images look crazy.
I was in Bavaria in Germany. Did a lot of the castles and a lot of the countryside. It was awesome. It's great to get out.
Look peaceful.
Yeah, it was really cool.
It looked cool. It looked cool. Was it just kind of location hopping constantly?
Yeah, just a bit of sightseeing. Going to see Ludwig's Castle, Neuschwanstein, went to Castle Linderhof, just basically looking at stuff I've never seen before, only things I've seen in magazines and books. So it was awesome to get out there and check out a different place.
Was there any piece of food that or meal that blew you away? I'm just trying to think of things that would be way different there.
Dude, honestly, I kind of missed American food when I was overseas.
Oh no,
Gardens for the grease.
There's some good schnitzel that's really good. Germans obviously make great beer, so I'm not a big beer drinker, but I kind of got stuck into the beer a little bit. Pretzels. I mean, they make amazing pretzels over there.
Oh yeah.
Man, if you talk about pretzels, that food was
I don't know,
ass.
man. I missed a good steak and a good mac and cheese, to be honest.
Steak.
Oh man,
Yeah.
Yo, MVG. Next time you go, bro, you gotta go to Africa. You gotta go to Nigeria. You want food? That is the best food ever, man, and it's dirt cheap. It's so good. When I was out of the country when I went, oh my gosh, man, I'm missing the food there.
What's the what's up with the German McDonald's?
I went past a couple. Someone told me to go check one out, but I didn't actually get the chance to go into a McDonald's. But someone said that the McDonald's in Germany are really good. But I didn't.
McDonald's overseas are usually crazy.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance. Didn't get a chance
to
to check it out. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
okay,
oh yes, in Amsterdam, the McDonald's there it felt like a restaurant, like a 5-star restaurant. And I kid you not, it was incredible. I remember when I was coming back home from Nigeria, I was in Amsterdam and I had the McDonald's there, and I had like a deluxe. What was it? It was a vegan chicken sandwich, and it looked like, seriously, it looked like a premium like gourmet burger. Like, it was crazy good.
Yeah, I'm surprised they don't kick us out as soon as we go, and the Americans ruin that whole place, man. Celia.
Everybody's great.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good to see you, Celia. How you doing?
Pretty good. Did we start early today?
I was just hanging out with the people in chat. I was like, people will come in as they are able to. It's on StreamYard. It's easy.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I figure it was pretty straightforward there. So we got Celia. We got OJ coming in early from the pre-show. We have OJ here. And we got Evan.
Yep.
And Evan. So good stuff. Like I said, episode 424. A lot of stuff this past week. A lot of stuff this week coming up, it seems. Internet's going through it again. Last 24 hours been something else on social media. people losing their mind right now.
People are flipping out right now, man.
Yeah, I was a little
people
surprised.
Deleting tweets. People out here deleting tweets.
Flipping out through it right now. Yeah, they're going through it.
It's funny. It's so funny.
There's a lot happening right now. We did have the Pokemon Presents, which we'll touch on briefly. New kind of N64 that got announced. I'm curious. I'm curious, MVG, how you feel about that analog 3D order that I also have actually in place. I'll touch on that. The Sony Multiplatform stuff that the internet's losing their mind over, and the $80 game reversal by Microsoft. So some good stuff actually tonight. MVG, we just want to start with that. I guess Celia too. Yeah, I mean, you were around when Hyperkim was trying to gas up a Nintendo 64. So
I remember those days.
What about that?
Yeah. So we have an M64. All right, now this from Mod Retro. Palmer Lucky had a whole thread about this thing, and they showed footage of it working. They put like a tarp over it or like a blanket or something just to cover it, but they did show it functioning. At least that's what they say it was. But it was plugged in through AV, which was kind of throwing me off a little bit. It was like to a CRT, and I have their Game Boy, which I don't know if you picked one of those up, MVG or Celia or anything.
I don't have that one.
The Chromatic. Okay. They tried really hard to keep it as true to form as possible, down to it being able to take AA batteries. So it is very much them just trying to recreate it as one-to-one as possible. And the screen is very, very nice. It's like a dot matrix and everything. So it looks, you can see, like if you zoom in real close, you can see all the dots and stuff on the screen. But it's a very nice, high quality device, but it's $200. This N64, this M64, also $200. And they mentioned that they have recreated the N64 controller, but it will be compatible with the originals. And they're also not only licensing new games, but also doing re-releases of old cartridges for the N64, which they've done for the Game Boy. I have their Tetris game that they relicensed or they made, and it's still Tetris, but I guess it has, I don't know, different music or sprite work or something. But they're going all out on this, and all this coming in at the $199 price that they say should be basically the same as what the N64 released as back in the 90s. And I mean, clear shot at Analog at this point, who has taken a $250, which I put the order in, MVG put the order in, and we are still waiting to see the thing running. So.
Okay, I have a couple questions about that because that's news to me. Not getting your Analog N64. I know that. But the Mod Retro. Okay, so you said that Palmer Luckey wrote a whole thing about it. Is that his company?
Yes, that is his. Yep. He basically funds it at this point, kind of for fun. The way he described his Game Boy thing, like I don't think he's out here like this is gonna make me millions and millions of dollars. It's the way he talks about it is like I liked modding Game Boys back in the day, so I'm gonna basically fund a bunch of engineers to make me a Game Boy, and then I'm also going to sell it after it's been made to people.
Out of curiosity, when did he start working on the Game Boy project?
A couple years ago.
I
think the Chromatic went up for sale last year, and then a few months later it came out right at the end of the year. It came in. I mean, it's a nice Game Boy. Again, maybe I'll do a video on it because I've just had it. I bought it just for fun, and it's like a legit Game Boy. It's a really nice device. It's $200 as I mentioned, so it's not cheap. And honestly, for that money, you kind of look around at the Analog Pocket and you go, "That's probably the move if you can get it."
Okay,
but it plays Game Boy and Game Boy Color games, and it does it very, very well. So this was his next thing. They kind of like briefly teased or mentioned it, I think, at the end of last year as well, and now it's like legitimately a thing.
That's really cool. I'm glad that he finally got his Game Boy, and then also the N64 might be there. That's interesting.
Let me see. I had to click for the price reveal on it, and it starts blasting music at me. Okay, there we go. $199. Oh, but it doesn't have the video. I think the video is legitimately just on his Twitter.
It's on his Twitter, I think.
Yeah, the N64 video is just the Twitter.
Oh, there. Yeah, okay, there's his name there. Let's see. Okay. So it is. Yeah, there it is. Okay. So this is the. Let's see if I can get a good zoom into that. I can. Oh, it might be choppy through StreamYards, but we'll make it work. So if you have not seen this yet, Celia.
It's riveting podcast right now, John.
We get to watch 10 FPS.
Oh, yeah. So they have it hooked into this.
He's just trying to simulate the 64 by doing it at 10 FPS.
Yeah. It's interesting they still have up to the CRT though. So that's the thing that was throwing me off. It's not. I mean, it still works through HDMI. They've mentioned that it supports higher resolutions, all of that. But I'm wondering the way that the Game Boy is set up and how they've kind of presented it on that side. I almost wonder if this is also going to have AV out.
Okay, so this is the teaser. So it's under plastic. It's not showing anything. It just hooked into AV, and it's using an OEM controller.
Yes.
Are they doing this to avoid Nintendo suing them? Because them showing the controller logo in their advertisement for their product is by far one of the best ways to get sued.
I mean, it's possible, yes.
I'm confused why they didn't cover that too, like with a Post-it.
Oh yeah, you could have piece of tape
like
or something.
You could have done a lot of things. I do. Okay, Han. I'm just like watching them commentating on this. No peeking until Christmas. Oh, are we gonna?
That's it. Yeah, M64. So I think it's supposed to come out. I think it's coming out this holiday. I think is the idea.
Okay, question for the Game Boy. Are there OEM parts in there? Is it completely?
Oh, it's completely redone. Like it's all original basically.
Okay, interesting.
It's like FPGA and everything.
There's also a controller wrapped near that little console, so most likely they didn't want to just show their controller for it.
Their Trident or whatever they're doing.
It looks a little. It does look a little like a third party big boomerang looking controller. Yeah.
Like one of the gross ones that has the arc and then just the one thing.
Well, no, because with third party, so like, because Nintendo, patents their designs for things, and there has to be at least 6 noticeable differences in hardware to make sure like you don't get sued from that. So I'm curious what theirs is going to be. You just got to get creative,
Yeah, I thought you'd be interested in that, Celia, if you hadn't seen it, because that was kind of it wasn't necessarily, I guess it wasn't huge news, but it was sort of under the radar. But for people who are looking for it, were like kind of blown away by the idea of this just popping up before we got Analog 3D showing up with the system that they said was going to come out at the end of July.
Oh, well, unrelated Analog. So I have a theory. It could be wrong, but so we haven't heard anything about it, and they keep on extending the pre-order, and like it's been literally radio silent, minus their we pinky swear it'll come out probably. Do you think they got cease and desisted and they have to make changes to the hardware? Because I can't think of another reason why they wouldn't say anything except for a legal issue.
I don't think so. You could be right. My theory is that because N64 is such an absolute monster to recreate, because compatibility, if you look at N64 emulation, it's always been just all over the place. I think getting compatibility with 100% of the game library is really what is holding the hardware back. And that's just my personal opinion. I don't have any, proof of that, but I do know there are some very complex games that have been developed because the N64 is programmable. As far as the graphics and the sound, every game is kind of built differently, like Furukawa, and it just makes it very difficult to emulate 100% of the entire library. So I think they're just trying to get that compatibility list as much as they can to 100% before they release it.
Okay, but if that was the case, we would have gotten an announcement and not a pre-order. Like that. Yep. Okay, so MVG, like I agree with you. It is very difficult. I remember Hyperkin's attempt at that I can't really talk about, but I remember the shit show, and not saying that it was a shit show, but it was. And yeah, it's incredibly hard to get compatible, like a close, even like 80% compatibility. It's hard. But for the radio silence and burning through the goodwill that they've established, and they do have a direct communication with consumers in general. Yep. It just feels like, since they're not touching on things or talking anything like any specifics more about it, I feel like it might be legal related. But we'll find out. You guys could get it in the mail next week. Who knows? Probably not though.
I don't think so. They said what's the new date now, John? Like end of August is when they're targeting. So we have at least another 4 weeks to go.
Yep. Which I hope that means that in 2 or 3 weeks we'll see the thing. I just want to see it working, really, is all.
I want to see some games running on this thing. Yes. We've seen nothing. Like that's
raw footage.
That's the frustrating part about the analog thing. And I think that's why Mod Retro's device is so interesting, how it's popped up now. Look, at the end of the day, I think both of these things are going to pretty much do the same thing as far as their features, but it really comes down to which one does it better and the price and the availability of this stuff. Like if Analog somehow manages to fumble again and they delay that August date, because let's be honest, we haven't seen anything from Analog with this device, and that's made a lot of people very nervous about when are they actually going to get this product out the door. Mod Retro, they're going to step in and basically try to take, eat their lunch for them. So it'll be interesting to see. Look, I like competition. I like multiple products that do the same thing. So bring it on,
As another fun aside, I'm curious about the materials of Mod Retros, because their Game Boy is just made out of metal. So it's like it like if you drop it, it doesn't really get damaged much at all. So I think the glass that covers the screen is like full this sapphire glass that can't be scratched. Like you take keys to it and stuff, and it's fine. So that's the other thing I'm curious about, just the build quality of the system. Even though it doesn't move as much as the Game Boy, it's just maybe that's their thing. They make their systems out of I think it's magnesium alloy or something. So be curious. The design, it'll be interesting to see how they go with it, but not too much longer, I don't think, till we see it. So I will be picking one of those up. I feel like MVG probably will too. So
yeah, maybe. I mean, if the Analog comes out when it does, John, and it works as advertised, I don't know if I'll get the Mod Retro, but hey, if Analog delays and the Mod Retro steps in and says, hey, we're ready to ship, then get one. We'll see.
Okay, good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. Let's see. We have a direct that might be imminent. Well, okay. I think at this point, people are. I'm sure you guys probably noticed this online. There was a lot of uneasiness. People were getting kind of antsy because we were down to the last week for July. People were tagging. You know how many times people tag Nate on social media when this stuff is happening?
I saw it, and I bet he's like, dude, leave me the freak alone. And then the websites didn't make it any better either when they said he doubled down.
He doubled down.
He doubled down on it, guys. No, like that didn't make it any better for him.
Yeah, so people just constantly tag him on X or Twitter X or whatever, asking him, "Is it still happening? Is it still happening? Is it gonna happen in July?" And I mean, July's not over yet; it's still next week. And now VGC has said that from their own sources that the direct is imminent. So I guess we'll see what third parties are in the direct and maybe put two and two together who told them. But at this point, everyone's kind of thinking, okay, next week Nintendo Direct. Tuesday, most likely Tuesday or Wednesday, so maybe they'll announce it on Monday, I guess. But either the 29th or the 30th. I don't think it's on the 31st, so we'll see. And now people are trying to figure out what kind of direct is it. Some were concerned at first that it'd be an indie showcase. It doesn't seem like it's an indie showcase based on ratings that are popping up right now, which The Legend of Zelda Age of Imprisonment was rated in Brazil. We also had a Korean ratings board post for Metroid Prime 4. So it seems like all of that's coming together. There are some whispers about Persona 3 Reload, which any of these RPGs say out of Atlas or stuff like those seem pretty much safe guesses, I assume. But at this point, big direct, this week coming up. How we feeling? And also just throwing this in there because it's like with the Switch 2 and it's their latest release. How'd everyone feel about DK Bonanza if you've been playing it or you got through it? Since I know last time it was like, okay, it just started jumping into this game. But how's everyone feeling since I know Celia, you picked it up, MVG played through it, RJ's grinding away at it. So
I've been grinding away. I'm doing the 100% run, still going through. I've got my fourth world done 100%. So
wow. How many bananas do you have?
300 something.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay. Wow. Okay. MVG, you beat the game, MVG?
I beat the game. I don't want to spoil it or anything, but I ended up with about 480 something bananas in the end. Okay. So I did a fair chunk of it, but there's still so much I've missed in that game. But I thoroughly enjoyed my time with Bonanza. It's a very, very good game. Very, very happy with it. It just surprised me in so many ways. Again, don't want to spoil it. But the more you play the game, the more surprises you that are thrown at you. It's such a good game. Such a good game.
I'm actually shocked that the game because I'm so used to a lot of these games just being spoiled constantly on Twitter X or YouTube or whatever, right? Just different bosses and stuff. I'm actually shocked that Bonanza really didn't get spoiled at all for me. Like nothing.
Same. I didn't really.
People definitely spoiled it though. People definitely.
I'm sure they did. Yeah. I'm a little surprised.
There's content creators that I follow that spoiled it. There's big content creators that spoiled it. One big content YouTube Let's Player spoiled it. Like literally the second or third day that it came out on Twitter. He put up a certain thing. I'm trying to figure out how far out do you think we need to get for a big release like this before you start talking about any major plot points or anything happening in the game that could maybe spell out the future of a franchise or something. Like how far do you have, like for example, back in the day, Final Fantasy 7, when Sephiroth took out Aerith, how long would you have to wait?
Whoa, spoilers.
I know, right?
30 years. 30 years that you have to wait. I mean, back then, people just spoiled stuff and didn't give a damn back then.
That's true. That's a good point.
Just spoiled stuff. They didn't care.
Do you remember when they announced Remake and you spoiled that scene on the Spawncast and everyone came for you?
Yeah.
Like, I don't feel like, there's no time limit on this stuff. If you legitimately spoil some piece of content for someone, They're gonna get mad at you. It doesn't matter how long it takes.
In the original PS1 Final Fantasy VII, like one of the biggest things in gaming that's ever happened.
But even for new games, like we've been like, oh, there's a skill tree in it, and then chat lights up with spoilers. It's like, okay,
yeah, that's why I'm super sensitive to spoilers on my stream, man. People ask like, how many bananas do you have? And I'm like, you know what? I don't want to answer everything because I know on my stream they get super sensitive on that type of stuff because people are, somebody else will spoil it. If you don't spoil, like if you say something, somebody else will say, oh, okay, well this. So people are super sensitive to that type of stuff. I think, John, people got mad at you because you said Airbuster theme on Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Oh, that's a good theme.
Yeah. I remember, I think you said it on Twitter and people were like, you're spoiling the song. You spoiled it. So
the Airbuster is in the game. It's a remake of Final Fantasy VII, but the Airbuster
it's a music spoiler.
The average viewer just wants us to be like Final Fantasy. It could be good, and then just stop the conversation and move forward.
It could be good.
That's it's a joke, but that's like yes.
That's what a lot of people want.
Like when a game first comes out, is it good or is it not? Yes, it's good. I like it because I have powers. That's
too much spoilers.
That's the only thing you're allowed to say for the next 12 years about that game, because you never know if the person hasn't played it yet. So.
I still haven't spoiled Xenoblade for people on my channel. That game's like how many years old is that? Game's 2010. That game came out in 2010, 2011 in Europe, and 2012 here in the US. And I still have never really like spoiled it for people out there because people are still playing the definitive edition. Like so yeah.
Yeah, it's I don't know, something to think about. Like how long until you can mention major plot points or key twists or something? Because people will talk about movies 2 days after it comes out and it's on Twitter. It's like, oh, well, okay, that happens apparently in the movie that I have not seen yet because it's opening night right now. Okay. Celia, what do you think of Donkey Kong Bonanza?
So I'm only 65 bananas in. So spoilers, sorry. I'm really enjoying it. It's a good time. Obviously can't get into too many details because I don't want to ruin anything. But I have like one minor nitpick about the game, which I don't think is a spoiler about things. It's just that like I wish that like boss battles were longer.
Sure.
Like that's my only complaint.
The ones you probably run into are really easy, right?
Yeah, because also I'm like newer in the game, so I'm expecting possibly for them to get a bit more challenging or something.
There are some more challenging ones, yeah.
But yeah, it was just like like the first couple, I was like, oh, like this is really fun. I get like into it, and I'm like, okay, I was like next phase, and I was like, oh,
that's it. It's over.
Yeah, I'm like, oh no, I killed him.
I think in general, the game isn't that difficult.
Yeah.
But the bosses do get more challenging over time for sure.
Yeah, it's really enjoyable. I avoided all spoilers. Like I skimmed the trailer when we talked about it just so I could like say something. But I was expecting the game to be a bit more difficult, because Donkey Kong Country and DK64 was convoluted, and so I was expecting there to be like a challenge to it. But I'm really, really enjoying like the journey through it and just discovering and just smashing like anything and everything. And just the humor is great. Okay, side note, was Donkey Kong always this dorky? Like, because he's like very aloof and goofy. And like normally, I
and no. Yes,
like
and
they
no.
Kirby-fied him, where like Kirby's just like like a little dum-dum just doing things, and also
there is lore to this. I'm a Donkey Kong aspiring Donkey Kong lore expert. Donkey Kong is an idiot. He is actually, and even in the rare day, he's an idiot. He's always been somewhat of an idiot, but his art and the way they depict him, he seems like normal, but he's actually pretty stupid. And they also, if you look at the animated TV show, he's a freaking moron in that one as well. So people, there are two sides to this. Some people think, he's a smart ape, and he's never really been smart. But yes, in this one, he's really goofy, but that's more true to his personality, I would say, than maybe what Rare kind of showed him as. But like I said, if you watch the TV show, he's a complete moron in that show.
I'll revisit it. But I just feel like from remembering him from like Donkey Kong 64, for example, like, he was a goob, but like everyone was a goob. And so it was like equal playing field. And when everyone's stupid, no one's stupid. Okay. And so when playing this game, all the other creatures are like, average to really, really smart. And I was like, wait, hold on here. But he's really charming, and I'm really enjoying it. It's just such a stark difference than from what I remember. But I'll go back and recheck some Donkey Kong lore. Maybe check out the show.
In the movie, he's like, he's not super stupid in the movie, but he's more arrogant and like cocky.
Yeah,
right?
but it wasn't like a noticeable silly guy.
Exactly. That's why people are kind of confused. In different media, he's like I said, if you watch the original Donkey Kong animated whatever thing that stupid show that they did, he's really stupid in that one. If you look at the Rare games, he's kind of just like, yeah, whatever, not really too much.
Just,
I mean, he does do some dumb things in those games, but it's not that
he's
bad.
Smart enough to have I don't know, pass whatever monkey test it is for a coconut gun. Like I figure he's like smart enough, but I feel like in this one he's just big punchies. Funny guy. I don't know.
Big punchy funny guy. That describes him. Big punchy funny guy.
That's my box quote if Nintendo's looking.
MVG, did you spend more time with the game than you were expecting?
Yes, I did. Yeah. I almost clocked 30 hours on it. And look, I'm not a completionist. I'm not going for the 100% run, but dude, honestly, I thought I would kind of be done with this game in about 15 hours, and I spent probably double that time playing the game.
It kept going.
It just kept going. It's really good.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
I don't want to say anything. But
You're about to spoil something.
The game just keeps going. Basically, it just keeps going, and you can probably spend 50, 60 hours. I think 100% run is probably going to be about 60 hours or something like that.
That's how much I'm going to spend, because I'm like 25 hours already and not close to the ending. So yeah, but I'm doing like a weird 100% run. So I need a lot of money.
Yeah, you just buying the maps and stuff.
Yeah, I need a lot of money. So I'm farming.
Yeah, that's I mean, it again, a bigger game than I was expecting. High quality game. I didn't run into anything that was like I fell through the level, and with all the destruction, you feel like something would go wrong. Other than the camera sometimes getting confused. That's about it.
Yeah, but
camera, and some people have said like the balloons, sometimes like you die or like you fall and it doesn't take you back to like a certain spot, you might fall again. Some people have had some issues with
Jordan's here.
Hey.
Whoa, Jordan Fritz.
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
Jordan,
come in right.
How are you?
Yep. Coming to get just surprise everyone.
Hello, stranger. Jordan. It's good to see
you. Good to see you.
All we need to do is just talk about Pokemon more, and I think Jordan will magically randomly appear like tall grass. Like it's
sometimes that's how it works.
So we're talking about the Nintendo Direct coming up here, the imminent one, according to VGC. But I had talked to Jordan earlier in the week, actually before Pokemon Presents, and they're like, "Yeah, you should come on for the Pokemon stuff, right? To talk about the presentation and everything that happened." And I will say there were some people I checked in on some live streams. There were some people who woke up at like 6 a.m. for it, so 5 something a.m. for it.
I woke up at 4:30 or 4 a.m.
for something, and I was checking in, and Josie was like half there like while it was going on. Yeah. So I think that people realized halfway through it's like, okay, I think this is for Pokemon people. But Jordan, how did you feel about the Pokemon Presents?
I mean, that's an interesting question, right? You know, because I feel like everyone has their own expectations, whether they're overhyping it or underhyping it. I didn't really expect a lot from this Direct anyway. So I was kind of like about on par with what I expected to see there. So I wasn't really let down or all that excited. You know, it was like, okay, I agree with people who could be disappointed with it. But at the same time, I didn't.
15 announcements.
Yeah. I mean, the coolest thing for me is the actual physical amusement park location. That's the big thing for me.
That's in Japan.
You going?
I have to go. That sounds amazing.
Okay.
I've wanted that forever, and
I mean, go to that too.
Yeah. So like that for me, that's the exciting thing. Is like, oh wow, they're actually doing it, and it's not that far away. So.
Isn't it in Japan?
Yeah, it's in Japan.
Yeah, in Japan.
Yeah. Jordan, I kind of feel the same way. Like, I never go into these expecting anything because we've had a solid, like, I think, how long have they been doing these? 5 years, 10 years?
Mm-hmm.
They've been doing it for a while. And it seems like every single time they're never going to announce all the stuff that people actually want. Like, I don't know, like GBA games, like NSO stuff.
That happens every time. Every
every
time
time people expect that
Game Boy games going in NSO.
Yeah, and it never happened. So all I said, I was like, hey, just give me some more information on Pokemon Legends ZA. That's the game that I'm looking forward to playing. That's all I'm expecting. And I got that. So I was like, yeah, cool. But I understand, like, I'm the same way as Jordan. If people thought it wasn't good, or if you whatever, I agree too. But like we have a set like expectation for these shows. They're always kind of like this. So yeah.
You just got to Calvin and Hobbes it. Lower your expectations. Always be surprised.
Okay, so the thing about Pokemon Directs in general, it's, people are always like expecting them to be like a Nintendo Direct, but like they forget that Pokemon is like an all-encompassing franchise and they like to focus on all those points. So besides like, the console games, of course they're going to talk about mobile. Of course they're going to talk about their TV series, like, and whatever else that they're producing, like live events. So it kind of just like ticked all the boxes of, what they usually hit on, like, digital, mobile, console, real life TV, and then like hit it all. I am also excited about Pokemon Kanto. So question, have you guys ever heard of Dragon Quest Island? It's like it's a Dragon Quest themed little attraction in Japan.
No, I have not.
Okay, I'm expecting Pokemon Kanto to be like that. So basically, it's like an outdoor adventure where you're like, or it's considered like an outdoor like field RPG attraction where you're the main character and you get like a story, you get to pick your role, like if you want to be the warrior or whatever, like whatever your class is, and you get like an adventure book and you go around and encounter like little fetch quests and like stationary monsters where you're like solving puzzles. Yeah, it's a real life adventure. It's basically like an escape room, except you're not really escaping. You're just going around and like, hitting all the things.
Up other nerds.
Yeah. Like,
is it like the movie Role Models? Is it like that?
I've never watched the movie Role Models, so I'm not sure. But like, you walk around with your adventure book and you're like, we have to go help the king slime. And then you go to where like the giant big plastic king slime is in like the village or whatever. And then you
fireballs,
you talk to him.
At it.
And like, it's like an interactive adventure. So I'm really imagining that for Pokemon. I don't know if they're going to go like that route for it, but it kind of looks like it. So I'm planning to go once it releases. I'm totally going to go to Japan. I was planning on going next year anyway. So I'm like, sweet. I'll plan that around in my adventure. Are we talking about everything from the, can I like talk about other stuff?
Anything you want in here, Celia.
Just to jump on some things, Pokemon Concierge, I watched it on Netflix and it was so fun and enjoyable and cozy and such a cute short watch. So I'm really excited for more episodes in September. That's going to be a really good time. ZA Mega Dragonite looks awful. Okay, if you like it, I'm sorry. My condolences.
I think it looks
my
cool.
Condolences, OJ.
They put wings on it on Dragonite's head.
Oh, I think that's fine. I wish they took that a step further, made him blue, made him resemble Dragonair. Because like a big complaint about Dragonite, besides him being, he's cute and doofy and I really enjoy him. But like Dragonair is like, design is so pretty. And it's like, oh, what are you going to evolve like into? And it's like, like a giant little guy. And so it would be cool to like make him pretty. And like they could have done that. They one step is to add wings to his head and then they could have done more. So I don't know. I feel like it's a missed opportunity, but like, that's okay. That's just me complaining. And then like, lastly, I'm really excited for Pokemon Worlds. It's going on next month. I'm going to be there and it's going to be we'll have to say hi. It's going to be a real cool time. My friend's really into the competitive scene. So I'm just going to like hang out with her and run around and stuff. So it'll be a good time.
You're a good friend.
Yeah.
They did show off Pokemon Legends ZA a bit more. It's of course coming out October 16th, and they're gonna replace it. Looks like the Mario Kart World bundle with the Pokemon Legends ZA bundle. So anyone I guess who doesn't have a Switch 2, or mostly I assume holiday stuff. It's the Pokemon game. The Switch 2 is attached to it. It's $500. So instead of that one being $70, you can get it for $50 with the Switch 2. So that was their big announcement, I guess. There, in terms of video games. There was no Game Boy NSO, nothing like that. So I think really going into these, people need to start thinking, maybe this is just a Pokemon thing. Maybe there's going to be merchandise. There's going to be theme parks, apparently. A lot of mobile games. I like mobile games. They did announce this, what is it? This Pokemon, the Pokemon Friends. It's like a bunch of puzzle games. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I bought it for one of the kids. They've been playing it, and it's the most basic Flash game looking thing I've ever seen. And they love it. So I think the target audience for the kids, it makes sense. They get these pieces of yarn and they throw them in the machine. And it's like, here's a Pokemon plushie for your made up imaginary room. And they're just like, yeah, like they're so excited
hooked on loot boxes early.
Whatever.
Got you hooked up. That's how they get you, man. They've been Pokemon. They've been doing this for decades.
Here's the thing, though. They're playing this and they go, oh, there's more stuff to buy. And I go, what do you mean there's more stuff to buy? Look. There, so the base game on the Switch is $10, and then there's an additional $26 worth of things that you buy if you want the whole thing. So the game itself is $36 essentially if you want everything. So I don't know what the deal was there. On mobile, it's free to try or something. Then you could spend more money,
and then you could spend to get all the bundles that dropped.
Yeah. So from what I can tell, it's more puzzles and more Pokemon plush things. So. I'm not really sure why it's $10 on the Switch. I don't know what the deal was there, but that's all they're getting. I'm not going down the realm of Pokemon Friends DLC at this point. That's good enough. That's good enough. Besides, they'll probably be on to what Fortnite's at like age 10 or something, so they'll be all right soon. I'll just be playing that and ask for V-Bucks. But that's about what I expected out of the event. I wasn't expecting what the next generation we're thinking next year, Pokemon Day.
Most likely that's what will be the case. I was expecting a little bit more with Champions. Talking with some other Pokemon people, thinking that it was going to be not like necessarily shadow dropped right away, but coming out a lot sooner than expected. And seeing that it was just a little bit more of an update, and then 2026 on it was like, oh, okay, so that'll be a random early mid game next year before any mainline game would come out. So I was expecting a little something like that, but yeah, nothing too surprising. I wasn't expecting any other surprise like spin-off titles or anything like that, because I didn't feel that there was a crazy amount of hype going into this one. I know they announced it really early. But I feel like from Pokemon, they weren't hyping this up themselves, aside from saying, yeah, it's happening. And I feel like the internet does what the internet does and hypes it up for them. So,
yeah,
I can understand getting disappointed once again, that especially if you woke up really early for probably not a whole lot of exciting announcements.
But with that out of the way now, that's in the rearview mirror, people are now looking forward to this week with the potential for a Nintendo Direct. Now, I already mentioned Nate the Hate's been tagged a lot because Nate did say that sometime in July, he mentioned that with MVG in a podcast that I listened to about 10 minutes worth because that was the relevant section. But I did hear it, and he said it was sometime in July. Don't know what kind of event it is. And now we've sort of kind of worked it down to this next week coming up, which I may or may not have talked to Nate actually a while ago. And I was like, maybe, end of July might make sense for it. And here we are now. So at this point, looking towards this after the Pokemon presents, I do think I'm going to say it's a general Nintendo Direct. I don't know if anyone thinks otherwise for what's lining up right now, or if everyone's kind of thinking general Direct as well.
It kind of has to be a general Direct, because they need to date Metroid Prime, and they need to date Kirby Air Riders, and they need to date Age of Imprisonment. And because, if all those games are coming out this year, which they're still saying that they are, all those games need dates. And they probably need to announce maybe a game or two more, maybe even some stuff with Splatoon Raiders. So that's why I say it's a general Direct, with probably, like some people are saying, heavy focus on third party, but most Directs are a lot of third party. So that's what I'm thinking. So I'm thinking it's going to be a general Direct. And of course, I think there's going to be a lot of, with Switch 2, the possibilities for the big third party games are better than what we got with Switch 1. So I think that's exciting for people.
Yeah, very different environment now, which we'll get to Sony in a little bit. But how you feeling, MVG? A couple days out? You just played through Donkey Kong Bonanza, looking for the next thing, looking for some news.
Yeah, I think it's a general Direct as well. Everything that OJ said, I agree with. It seems like that they really have to start putting some dates behind some of these big games that they've been teasing for a while, and obviously a big part of this direct will be a lot of third parties showing up as well with what they're working on. So yeah, I think it's probably going to be that. But hey, it's Nintendo. You never know. They sometimes call an audible, and could be a partner showcase for all we know next week. But it's unlikely. I mean, I think Metroid needs a date. It just got rated, I think, in some region, I believe, just recently. So all signs are pointing to a general direct.
Yes.
For next week.
Yeah, people. I've noticed. There's a lot of discussion around the Game of the Year stuff right now. Obviously, with Donkey Kong Bonanza being the latest one to be part of that discussion, people kind of underselling the potential of Metroid Prime 4. I'm noticing that. Almost slight disrespect to that franchise
because it's a Switch 1 game. Essentially, I think that's part of the reason why, and because we haven't seen too much of it.
I heard Donkey Kong Bonanza was a Switch 1 game, and so was Mario Kart World.
Well,
a minute here.
But Metroid Prime 4 is actually a Switch 1 game. It's like a release, so I think that's part of it. But I see what you're saying, though, for sure, John. But I think that's it, and I think a lot of people, we haven't had a new Metroid, a real numbered Metroid Prime game since 2007. That was the last time. So I think a lot of people just don't know the franchise like that. Even though we got Metroid Prime remastered, but there hasn't been anything numbered and new. It's how many years? 12 years now. It's been a hot minute.
Been a bit.
So
yep.
So I think
all the Metroid Prime games, they all score 90 or higher on Metacritic, don't they? They're all they would all qualify and be in there for the discussion.
Yeah. The lowest one is Metroid Prime 3 Corruption at 90. Every other numbered game. I mean, if you want to say Metroid, there's Metroid Hunters, that's an 85, but that's Metroid Hunters on the DS. There's Metroid Prime Pinball, but that's a pinball game. And then there's Metroid Prime Federation Force, and that's Federation Force. So, but when it comes to the actual normal Metroid Prime games, some people have forgot how good they actually are.
Yeah. I think Metroid Prime 4 should be. I think it'll probably impress pretty well, especially with the performance on the Switch 2 with that 120 FPS, 4K, all these different features that Retro is going to drop on there. And we still haven't seen, while they showed some of it in the Treehouse, right, that they did the presentation, they also showed Donkey Kong Bonanza, and now I've realized how much they were covering up, about that. I don't know the spoiler, but Odd Rock was Pauline. I mean, that might get me canceled online for saying that.
They barely showed.
John, I know, right? Just spoiling everything.
Spoiler!
Spoiled level 1. Jesus, what are you doing?
They barely showed
the trailer.
anything
Goddamn.
on Bonanza. That treehouse was nothing on Bonanza. Literally almost nothing.
But if you look at Metroid Prime, they did a level, but it was the opening part, and it looked like kind of the start of the game where you gotta lose all your abilities and stuff, and then you rebuild them. But it looked like it was pretty early on, and I'm kind of thinking there might be maybe some stuff in there we don't know about yet. So
there's a lot more for sure.
Yeah, so I think that's that. And you mentioned Zelda Age of Imprisonment, of course, that needs a release date, and Kirby Air Riders, that's another one. Yeah. So there's, and if you think about it, I mean, we're about to get this direct, we'll say this week coming up. So right at the end of July, I mean, August is covered. Drag X Drive is going to go ahead and anchor that whole month. We're good there. And so I mean, September, October, November, maybe they sneak something at the beginning of December. You start to realize that they might have most of their big titles that aren't just third-party games kind of lined up right now. So that does make me wonder, what do you think first off, what do you think the order of these three games coming out are? Age of Imprisonment, Kirby, Metroid. What do you think comes out first, second, then third?
Metroid first, Kirby second, and Age of Imprisonment third, but I'm probably wrong.
I think I'm going to flip Metroid around. I think Metroid second on that list.
Okay.
You going to flip it with Kirby?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I think. But,
Yeah. I mean, it's just
we still have, wait a minute. We still have, what's it called? Kirby Star-Crossed Worlds. That comes out, I think, is that August for that game?
End of August.
Okay, yeah. End of August.
The expansion. Okay. I mean, Mario Party Jamboree came out with that. I see anyone really talk about it. It just kind of happened. So, I mean, the Kirby is, people have fun with it, but I kind of think of that the same way I think of Drag X Drive. So they should just move that to September and just anchor September with the Star-Crossed Kirby. Mm-hmm. But I think it wouldn't shock me if, I keep getting the feeling they're going to drop Metroid in November just to annoy me because I want to play that soon. And then be like, nope, we got to get 2 and 3 out first somehow. And it's like, okay, fine.
Zelda games can launch later so I'm thinking maybe they want to put Zelda at the in November or maybe even December, but we'll see. They might have a surprise announcement or game too. You never know. They might have something that's going to drop very soon. So you never know what they're going to do. That's the crazy part.
Yeah. So with that in mind, though, with the direct third-party games, I mean, Persona 3 Reload seems to be one people are kicking around right now, but it really is, as you mentioned, OJ, just because the ports in general are more interesting and capable this time around than the Switch 1. I mean, it's open anything. And people are just throwing guesses around. The idea of Assassin's Creed Shadows showing up there, I think, is very possible with the way Ubisoft is kind of mentioning.
Borderlands 4 for sure will be there.
Borderlands 4 will be shown there. We found out the release date for that is right at the beginning of October. So
it's a weird 3-week difference from the actual release. So
yeah, but that'll definitely be. I assume that will be shown there as like, hey, here it is, it's coming out. Don't forget. So that it would, but it also would shock me if you see like Death Stranding or something, the first one show up, some random third party stuff like that happen. But then the idea of Microsoft as that. Christopher Drang, which people seem to either really like this guy or not like this guy, no matter what he says. It's one or the other. It's like either end of the spectrum with this guy. But he definitely said that they've been expecting Microsoft announcements, Xbox game announcements for Sony and for PlayStation and Switch 2 basically coming up. So then everybody starts throwing around ideas for what's the next Xbox game to come out. So naturally, Halo, Gears, Forza, Grounded to
Sea of Thieves.
Starfield,
a lot of people saying Sea of Thieves because that was like rumored a while back. So maybe Sea of Thieves that's already on PlayStation. Forza, that's already on PlayStation as well. So maybe something like that.
Sea of Thieves.
Panic Button did Forza the port, so maybe Forza will be the next big one.
Forza be interesting because the Switch 2 doesn't have analog triggers, so they'd probably have to play around with the right stick or something for acceleration. That's a weird one, but. I mean, it is their big moneymaker. Forza Horizon 5 is now the best-selling game on PlayStation this year, just like outright on the platform. So it works for them constantly, no matter how late they even release it. So it wouldn't shock me if that was the case. But I'm curious now with Microsoft making the move. I mean, of the big three, Halo, Gears, Forza, I'm trying to figure out which one goes to the Switch 2 first. It's not even like which one would go. It's like which one goes first. Because I kind of feel like Microsoft's just going to spread these franchises all over the place now. So if I had to take a guess, it probably would be Forza. But man, if Master Chief pops up in this Nintendo Direct,
oh my god, that'd be crazy. Maybe the first game, like what's the remaster called that they did, or like the remake or remaster?
Well, they have the Master Chief collection. It's a whole bunch of the games and stuff thrown together. The problem with that is when they're putting on PC, it took them a while and they had to release it in waves. And apparently at the end of next year, they're going to do a remake of Halo Combat Evolved, the first one. So I don't know why you wouldn't just wait for that. But the thing that's kind of interesting is there's this project that's still going on at Certain Affinity. I thought it was canceled. Apparently it's still happening. And it's some weird take on not necessarily Battle Royale, but kind of that. I don't know what it is, but some were thinking maybe that gets announced either during the Direct or whenever Microsoft has their next developer thing. And that's the first, case of Master Chief or Halo, the Halo universe going to another platform. So I guess that's that could be.
Why does it have to be Halo, John? Why can't it be Rare Replay or something like that?
This Rare Replay.
Dude, I'm serious.
Every time.
That's the Rare Replay. Let's go. That's a good
awesome
game, right?
You know what? Rare Replay would be kind of cool. And here's the thing. The thing that would throw me off, MG, about Rare Replay was the file size for it. But they have so many ways around that. It could just be a digital code in the box, just digital only release, a game key. There's all these avenues. It's completely wide open as to how they could do it. And you know what? Rare Replay would actually be kind of cool. And I think it would do well on the Switch too.
Imagine we get really Blinks the cat before Rare Replay.
Blinks the cat.
Shout out to Blinks.
Sneakers. I don't know. There's a lot of Xbox gems.
Grab by the ghoulies before anything else.
That's on Rare Replay.
Oh, never mind. Just a straight up remake of Grab by the Ghoulies. There you go.
That would actually be pretty funny. They did rare replay just to do it. Hey, here you go. Some old games. Hopefully it sells well. And I think it would.
I feel like they can easily flip over the Gears of War Reloaded. Is that the name of it?
Yep.
You know, if they're going to put that on PlayStation anyway, and also release it on Xbox, I feel like it's not an exclusive just for PlayStation to get it right now. So why not just flip it onto the Switch as well? I think it'd run fine on there.
What
yeah, Gears would be
Gears
War
Reloaded.
Yeah. Oh, Gears. Oh, okay.
That wouldn't surprise me either at this time. The way they're working with Gears, Halo. Well, Halo's the big one I got to see, but Forza.
I'm kind of
jump over.
Annoyed about we're getting Gears 1 again, like a new polish, you know.
We played the multiplayer and it was fine.
I feel like we should have moved on and like, hey, let's go back and let's make 2, you know, work and run a little better, you know. Like keep
people are saying that a lot. Yeah, people are saying like they should.
Yeah, but it's coming to PlayStation. You gotta start somewhere.
I mean, that's cool, but you have the version that they just did that was fine enough. I don't know what Reload's really gonna do.
I will say I did go back and fire up the Ultimate Edition after the beta weekend had stopped on the new one, the remaster, and it doesn't. It looks better, but it doesn't look that much better. If that makes sense.
Oh man, well. I guess they figured they were going to repackage and sell it on PlayStation. So, all right, there you go. I mean, they were on Xbox. They were just sending it to people. Did they just give it to you, MVG? I think the game.
The Gears.
Yeah.
Well, I bought the Ultimate Edition back in the day, so I got the free update for it. So yeah, they gave it to me.
Some people are saying if they had even played it physically at some point in the past, they got a message on Xbox. They're like, here's Gears of War Reloaded. You can just have it. So
I gotta check. I haven't
the game out.
I haven't turned on my Xbox in a hot minute, but I never bought I haven't bought that. I did have the original Xbox 360 game, and I played the heck out of that. That's actually the reason why I bought my 360 back in, was it 2006 or 2000?
Yep.
I think they were.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, 2006. I think they're probably checking like game data or achievements. I don't know, that somehow they had it figured out for people who were like playing the game way back in the day that, yeah, you can just have it. That's cool. So I think that Gears of War Reloaded completely targeted to PlayStation owners just to sell copies there. But the Direct this week, hey, should be fun. Hopefully, should be exciting. Good size General Direct. Looking forward to it. And keep that in mind for the next time Nate says something like it. Hey, Nate's been on a run recently. Okay, so he went down to 0 hour on that Switch 2 reveal. So if he's like, yeah, you know, I from my understanding, there's a July Direct. It's like, you don't have to tag him 10 times in an hour the week before. You need to tag him 20 times. Like just blow up his timeline. Okay,
blow it up.
I just saw him responding to everyone too. I'm like, why is he even responding to everybody? he's legitimately trying to like run the Nintendo Direct customer service line there.
Nate's a nice guy. He's actually a really nice guy.
Nate the hate.
He's probably just sitting next to his pool watching the ducks while doing that.
He's a lot nicer than people. Even though his name is Nate there, he's actually a lot nicer than probably most of us.
Let's talk about Microsoft, because they made a bit of a reversal here. The $80 Outer Worlds 2 is no longer $80.
Whoa.
Now it's $70. And people were, halfway to throwing a parade over the $70 price tag. Very different from 2020, from what I remember. But so from $80 now to $70. But it's still on track. No issues with delays or anything. It just seems that something happened. Maybe we can figure this out. That made them say, you know what? Maybe the $80 price tag isn't correct for this game. I wonder what could have happened there. So they've had the game up for pre-order for a little while. So the obvious deduction here is maybe people just weren't pre-ordering this thing much at all, or it was missing expectations badly behind the scenes. And they thought, you know what? Maybe this isn't an $8 game. Let's revert back to 70. And they did. They put out a whole spot about it. They had like an image where they crossed it off, looked like in paint to be funny. And there you go, $70 now. And I don't know if that's still going to help the game, because the original, I don't think the way that the original line like played out, I don't think people looked at that as even like a full price game. But if this one is like quite a bit larger, then maybe they can get away with 70. Although they had that interview, I think it was for Avowed, where they said, we kind of want to make AA games mostly, that kind of scope. And then this showed up as their first $80 game, which was interesting. Anyway, they also mentioned that their holiday titles following it will also be 70, which means Call of Duty is not going to be $80 this year or anything else they release. So they're not going for it.
I'm so not surprised this happened, like legitimately. And I'm really curious what their pre-order numbers were to help spearhead this decision. I was like thinking about that, and it's like protesting with your wallet is kind of the best way to get a company to back down with these changes, go figure. I'm just kind of curious, like how catastrophic it was from what their like internal projections were that made them feel like it could have been an $80 price point to, in comparison, what was actually like, I guess the trends of like what they were going to pre-order at. I don't know. I'm so curious, but I wouldn't give to be a fly on the wall during these conversations, or maybe that's something I'm just interested in. But
I'm interested in it. I was saying when this whole thing happened, people were trying to lay blame in other places. I'm like, guys, listen, they're their own company, they're their own business. Any decisions they make, if they make the decision or if they reverse it, that's their own thing. They've got to go based off their own business and what they want to do, And
like, hats off to Xbox on being able to pivot. I know sometimes we can get whiplash with their decisions, but being able to look at the situation and not double down on it, I think was a very good choice for them. And I don't know. I also want to compliment them lampshading the social media like announcement with that of like crossing it out. I think that's really funny. Like, you gotta laugh at yourself sometimes.
I don't think people were pre-ordering it a lot. That's my own personal.
Yeah, no.
I don't think people were pre-ordering. If people were pre-ordering this like crazy, I think they would have been like, cool, we can, but just people weren't. So they decided we got to change this up because nobody.
If this reversal doesn't move that needle on the pre-orders, though, does it still? Are they going to be like, all right, 60 now, please? Is this going to be the next tier of what Ubisoft does, and the prices go down before it even releases?
They got the good PR from them reversing the decision, so I think that's good enough for them.
Yeah, like I don't know, we'll see, and then like seeing what their discounting habits are once the game releases. Like, are we going to get like wait till the 3-month mark and then the 6-month mark, or is it going to be closer? We'll find out from their sales numbers. But good job them for switching it.
The game's out in 3 months. So they waited like right to just about the end, basically, to go, we're going to drop it $10. And it is interesting that we are to the point where, 2020, we see the price go to 70. Now we're up to 80, but we have like one example of it so far, which is really just Mario Kart World. And even that is bundled with the Switch too. So people can kind of be like, oh, it's actually $50 if I get the bundle. So we just need more examples of $80 games, and we need something that's stronger than not that our world is like a bad game. You need a strong series. Yeah, you need a strong franchise to come out and be like, it sells well, it's well known, it's storied franchise, it's $80 and that's it. And yeah, maybe it is GTA 6 because I do think if the game is strong enough, it can withstand it. Since Starfield, we have the early access thing that happens a lot with these games. And Starfield had that early access where it was $100. I think it was $100 to get in. Is it 90 or 100 on Steam?
That, though.
But this one in particular was surprising because then the concurrent player count on Steam came out. It was like 250,000 players in early access at the $100 price point. So you have a game like that, and that's Bethesda with. They hadn't released any massive games or anything that were like that, where it's like, oh, big original game from Bethesda in space. Clearly the pull was there and people spent the money. But GTA 6, I'll be curious to see what the pricing is on that. That can easily withstand $80 and maybe they'll go higher than that. Outer Worlds 2 was not that game. It just wasn't. We all knew it when they announced it. I saw people on social media like, this isn't the one Microsoft. And in a way, it's kind of cost them a bit because I think Call of Duty could have been 80. But now they reversed that decision back to 70, and they're like, well, okay, we're going to leave holiday games 70 as well, and that's it. So to me, it almost cost them a little bit on Black Ops 7 then. But maybe next year. We do need to see Battlefield prices, though, I think. I don't think we know how much Battlefield 6 is yet.
Gotta see that number and then think about the number they gave us of the player count they're expecting and just laugh a little bit.
What were they expecting again?
100 million players.
Is it going to be like on Game Pass and like other?
To be clear, there are games that do hit that, but they're very specific games.
But yeah, a lot of those games are, like free to play.
Yeah, it's those. Like that's what does it.
Right. I mean, if
have
you
a free to play version,
we don't. So MVG, I think you sent that to me, didn't you? The for Battlefield, they're gonna have a battle royale, but it's like delayed or something right now. It's gonna miss launch.
That's a rumor based on Tom Henderson, Insider Gaming, but that's what it sounds like, at least based on his information that he's hearing.
Yeah. So if that's a separate mode and it's free to play, which most battle royales kind of need to be free to play because they need to have a ton of people playing at all times, then maybe kind of like their own wars, like Call of Duty Warzone tends to be more popular, more populated than just Call of Duty paid version multiplayer.
Battlefield, they did a royale, I think my camera.
I know they've played around with the idea of just large maps with a ton of players. But like the drop in, everyone kind of starts with the same thing, and then you buy skins and stuff, and that's how they make money off of it, and it goes free to play. I don't think they've done anything like that yet.
Not like that specific,
right.
But
right,
I could have swore they had a mode where the map would shrink and everyone had to run across it.
Evan, your camera's frozen.
I know. I'm trying to figure it out.
The Battlefield is the other one that I was thinking, just because it's so clear that they dumped a ton of money into that game, and the clips that are being shared right now, it looks pretty good. But how much money they went for it?
The problem I have with Battlefield is 2042 looked really good as well. Remember,
this is true.
And when it came out, man, ooh.
Fair to be skeptical, absolutely.
It was rough.
So they really got to sell people on this. There's the multiplayer gameplay trailer that's coming out July 31st. They got a lot of work to do to sell people, I think, again on it. However, I like the destruction, though, that they're showing.
I do like that Vince Ampella's on board. He is the GOAT when it comes to this stuff. I mean, he is the OG. So if anyone can get Battlefield back on course, it's Zampella. So I don't know. This could be interesting. I think it'll be better than 2042.
Yeah, I don't want to ring the alarm bells as like this is it for Battlefield. It kind of feels like this is like the last big swing for Battlefield, as in we're going to dump a lot of money into it. Again, the budget stuff is also in that rumor territory. They're like $400 million something. Wouldn't shock me, but I don't know how many more big swings EA wants to take at Battlefield if it keeps sputtering out like quickly after launch. Like 2042 tried to rebuild itself for how long, and then it never quite got to where they wanted it to. So that's Vince Zampella was brought back specifically to try to make Battlefield kind of like how it used to be. So
yeah, it was called Firestorm. It was like an older version. People were saying it in chat.
Okay, cool. Shout out the chat on that one. So games can kind of make a return. Did you see like Battlefront 2, Star Wars Battlefront 2? All of a sudden had a bunch of people playing it, and it jumped to like one of the top selling games on the digital store for Xbox, just like randomly one week. So Battlefield 6 has a shot. 100 million players. If they have free to play. Other than GTA 6, is there any game in the future that you guys think would be $80? Like anything has been announced? Like Borderlands 4 was the concern, Jordan, and then Randy did his whole magician act and pretended like it might be 80, and then it was 70. Shocking.
Yeah.
No, he's. I don't think there's anything else.
Well,
would be the game.
He's not good at that whole promoting games and doing good PR. That Randy,
Randy.
So, yeah. Oh yeah, good old Randy.
That's the thing. I mean, we need to have just more announcements in general, but like Capcom, I think Capcom would love to go to $80 for something, but they're trying to figure out what would go to $80. And that'll be fun to see if they think maybe see Resident Evil seems obvious, Monster Hunter seems obvious, but I feel like with Monster Hunter they're hoping for post sell on like expansions and DLCs and stuff. That's fair. That's fair. They do their microtransactions.
You really think that they would price a new RE game at 80? I mean, you can knock through those in about 10 hours if you know what you're doing. Yeah. Some people are speedrunning them in like 3.
Yeah, I think there's enough meat brand. On the bone there? You're buying the quality.
I don't know, man. No. I don't know about that one.
Capcom's going on record saying that the games feel like they're too cheap right now at 70.
Oh, God.
I think they do it once, get hit with a huge,
reality check,
and then they're like, nah, okay, cool, 70, we'll stick there. It's fine.
Capcom's games also kind of discount fairly quickly too, though. Like at least Resident Evil does. Like you can usually get good discounts on Resident Evil, not too far after launch.
Yeah. MVG's right that Resident Evil does kind of rely on you to play through the game multiple times because the core game itself, as you say, is just like 10 hours if you're even kind of just taking your time going through. They're not like super long experiences most times, and eventually, like you said, you just speed run them. So a lot of that is just you playing it over and over again to get the time out of it.
Games could probably charge 80. Definitely shouldn't. I don't think they should do this, but knowing the fan base and being a part of it, I know it would still sell and still probably better than ever if the next generation of Pokemon games were 80.
No, you can't. I don't trust them to make it better.
Well, I'm not. That's what I'm saying. It shouldn't be. And it's going to be annoying and bad for everyone if that happens. It's still going to sell really well, and we'll probably hear headlines of the boycotts, and then all of a sudden it's the best-selling one.
It's really funny,
company that could do it aside from GTA.
Back when we're doing a lot of work at the different stores, and Pokemon would launch on Sunday, and we'd have some of the new copies of it. Families would come in and legit buy like 8 copies of that thing.
Yeah.
Like 2 per kid or like something crazy. So they were sitting there spending $80 a pop anyway. And it wasn't everyone doing that, but it already leans into it, the 2 SKUs. And
but if the trailer dropped and it had the same visual quality of Beast of Reincarnation, they were like $80, I think people would be like, yeah, I'm in. Let's go.
Gosh.
If it was like if they actually showed like a real improvement over,
that's what Beast.
People would because like a lot of people already buy both like the double packs anyway. So I think people would definitely like all right, and like people play the games for like 1,000 hours or like thousands of hours. So they're like, yeah, I'll drop the extra for it. So.
Be careful out there, publishers. Don't get crazy. Don't pull an Outer Worlds too.
I'm just like I said, I don't like any of it to be that, but like if your game's strong enough, they'll be able to do it. And whether you want to get it or not is up to you. You can always just say screw it, I ain't getting it, or wait for a sale or just do whatever you want,
Boo. Okay.
No, I just don't buy it. If I think something's too much, I don't buy it, man. Like Outer Worlds, I'm not buying that at 80. I mean, no, I ain't
gonna get a copy. So. Hashtag add that shit.
I have the first Outer Worlds, but I don't think it's worth that. But if other people think it is, that's fine. That's their problem. Or that's their thing.
Worth the download on my Game Pass subscription.
People can buy whatever they want, man.
Key mailer, baby. Key mailer.
Key mailer. Yeah. Steven asks, MVG curious how intensive or easy it is for developers to implement either dynamic resolution or frame rate in games, hoping for more Switch 1 to 2 improvements if developers implement them.
I mean, dynamic resolution is a feature that a lot of games have implemented. It's not difficult to add in games, but as far as Switch 1 to Switch 2 improvements, I mean, ultimately, Switch 2 is going to run most Switch 1 games at the max resolution that it supports, which is going to be, 720p or 1080p due to its power. So the concept of dynamic resolution doesn't really come into effect on the Switch 2. But as far as implementing it, it's not difficult to do. A lot of games have it. A lot of games I've worked on has dynamic resolutions implemented as well.
Oh, I would make mention of this just to be sure, because I know this was a while ago, but like Gex Trilogy all works on the Switch too, just in case anyone was curious at one point, because that had come up actually in a super chat weeks ago, and I'm like, I'll check with FVG at some point. But then the update came through, so
yeah.
It does work. It was a mixed timeline. So
yep, Gex is now working on Switch 2. That's right. All the Carbon games are running on Switch 2, I believe, except for one, which is Ninja 5.0. But
interesting.
More to come there.
Okay. Hey, maybe we'll hold on for that too. Josh says, my favorite Nintendo artist, Celia. You're drawing like all the Pokemon over there during those streams.
Yeah, they're not.
Johnny, next you show them to Jordan.
Oh my gosh, it is a drawing. I took an art class in 2009, so that's my skill level, and it's not good. But thanks, Josh.
It's not bad. It's not terribly bad though. I mean, not like
you can tell what the drawings are when they go.
Yeah, okay.
Pikachu with a ketchup bottle. It's like okay,
I've seen a lot worse. I used to draw a lot back in the day, and I've seen so much worse.
Yeah, it's something.
Bobo says, "Have you guys heard about how no one is playing online in Mario Kart World? Boot up to online matches?
No, come on. Let's be serious. A lot of people are still playing Mario Kart World. I was on there today. Full lobbies.
You play Knockout?
Full lobbies. Yeah, man, I love Knockout.
Okay.
Right now, the meta is just say something that's not true.
Absolute lies.
That is
it's just 4 in the morning.
Just flat out lie. That's the meta right now for like smaller YouTubers to get a ton of views. Is just flat out lie, and you'll get people to watch.
It's the meta right now. Like that hasn't been the meta forever.
Well, now it's like really the meta. Like now it's like we're talking like 70, 80, 90, 100,000 plus views, not like 20 or 30. We're talking like hundreds of thousands of views or upwards of like 80, 90,000 views just to lie, manipulate data, manipulate information, just flat out lie, or just overall, and just be more emotional than the actual like fact base, and people just be like, yeah, I feel that way too. So that's why you're getting
like something you could easily figure out by just turning the game on and attempting to search for an online match. Like, that's interesting. Let's see. This is from Schultz, who says Mod Retro also appears to be working on recreating CRT technology to some extent. Palmer called it QRT. That could be massive for retro gaming as a whole. I was not aware of that. QRT. Oh, I will say that's the most annoying thing. People will say how awesome it is to have a good CRT, but then you realize getting a good CRT is a whole situation. So I had an iMac shipped, like an old school iMac, and that thing showed up in 2 pieces. So,
oh no.
Well, yeah. I mean, it still worked. Hey, the thing is a tank. It still worked, but the whole faceplate front, because it came in like the ones that old school G3 where there's like blue on the top and like different color on the bottom. That whole blue part was just off. I picked it up out of there, styrofoam, all around it, and then the bottom half stayed in the box when I picked it up. So that was fun. But yeah, I mean, if they can get it to where you can get, I don't know, whatever QRT, whatever that ends up being, then it's good enough. Fluco says, I heard bananas go rotten. Oh no, they are spoiled. Thank you. Thank you. Zoops. Whoa, I can't put that up on screen.
Spoilers.
Whoa.
Man.
Is it okay to spoil what who Vader's kids are? No, you can't do that, Zoob. Man, no one knows that. Grandman says your Xbox is a PlayStation. I saw that going around already. That was quick. Somebody photoshopped that or asked AI to make that real quick. Grandman says Donkey Kong has objectified the modern male. Mecha Omar says I just assumed DK absorbed Seth Rogen, Kirby style. Truly Epic says sending love to RGT. Sorry for the I'm gonna say tough times. RGT will be back next weekend. He's just kind of hanging out right now, just taking some time. Blue Knight says I am deeply and profoundly shocked John did not spoil DK Bonanza yet. I did get spoiled. It was maybe the one time a spoiler made me grin ear to ear. I gotta start reading these super chats before I put them up on screen now. I'm realizing the word spoiled keeps coming up a lot. Okay, here we go. Steven says, Jordan, do a video on space cases on Nickelodeon.
That's a very deep cut. I feel like people would think I'm making up that show if I made a video on that.
Wait, what is that show? Hold on.
My point in case, it's a 90s show. And you probably never heard of it.
Yeah, this one I haven't.
Yep.
Interesting.
Hey, maybe I might do a video. It's either going to turn out great because everyone wants to know what the heck it is, or they'll not tune in because they have no idea what it is. So,
Spyro Jones says, "You think DK Bonanza is replacing a new 3D Mario for Switch 2?" I do not.
I do not.
Absolutely
I think it's complementing a new 3D Mario for Switch 2.
I like it. Superman Man says, MVG, superb video about ZSNES. I call it ZSNES. Is it ZSNES?
Call it whatever you want.
Okay. All right, good. Like I was like just spelled it out every time I read it.
Z-SNES, Z-SNES, ZN-SNES, Z-SNES. I've heard everything.
People are just getting complicated. That was a nostalgic video for me.
It was.
Nostalgic. You were throwing around Pentium 2 with MMX support, and I'm like, oh man, that was an upgrade back in the day that I was very excited about because Mega Man X3 worked. It was that I had on the shelf next to me as I was playing it, and the ZSNES was an incredible emulator back then. I was not a SNES 9X person. I was a ZSNES.
I definitely was.
A ZSNES person.
I did both because some games work better on some. Like from memory, the Super Effects chip stuff worked better on SNES 9X.
Yeah.
But ZSNES, like if you want to play RPGs, like Chrono Trigger and Second Descensu and all that stuff, Live Alive, the translations and stuff, ZSNES was the go.
Oh, was it way? I didn't know. I didn't even know there was a ZSNES or whatever. My brother had the SNES 9X thingy, and I remember playing like a lot of it translated, like Dragon Ball Z and Fire Emblem,
Legend of Super Saiyan, Super
yeah, just stuff that was never coming out or that we never saw here, like Terranigma, just all sorts of like weird stuff on there.
Yeah, but I just remember the ZSNES had the menu with the snow, and that was it back then, man.
Good times.
Doing everything I could to get that Pentium 1 to run something, man. As a Windows XP, I think back then, and you couldn't play music and do anything else on the computer at the same time. It wouldn't work. Man, that ZSNES ran. Pyro says, try Abiotic Factor. Oh, by the way, everyone check out MVG's ZSNES video. It was very well done. Blast from the past. Pyro says, try Abiotic Factor. Also, shut up, Fringe. If you know, you know.
Classic.
I saw Abiotic Factor pop up. I've not tried it. I've not. Chief Adam Gaming says, disappointed that the Pokemon bundle is just a standard Switch 2 with no design. Just seems like a lazy effort from Nintendo. Well, they didn't have, I had to go back and double check this. They didn't have a true console special edition for like a year and a half in the Switch 1. We had like some pretty basic stuff. Some of them were etchings, but I think the first one was Monster Hunter for that. And it was only in Japan.
A Mario Kart World, special edition, so it's like, it's all right. We'll start getting them soon enough.
We'll probably get them next year.
I'm glad it wasn't. Yeah. I'm not trying to spend more on it just because of a design. So
we might get a Gen 10 one,
Yeah, a Gen 10 for sure. That's one that I'd be kind of, like, okay, let's take a look.
Yeah.
This Pineapple Painkiller. Furukawa doubled down on his use of men's 3-in-1. Thoughts? Do we think he's chopped? I don't know. Pineapple Painkiller.
What?
I don't know what that means.
What the fuck are you talking about?
If he's talking about like that 3-in-1 where it's like shampoo, conditioner, and like body wash, that's a scam. Don't trust that. Don't ever trust that. Bro.
So I think chopped is mean like he's cooked. Like he's cooked. Yeah. That's what I just found out about that lingo recently. I think my daughter said chopped, and I was like, huh?
That's the new one now.
Chop's been around for a little bit.
Has it? I don't remember.
Yeah, it's TikTok has been using it for like
TikTok. That's where she got it from. Okay, there you go.
The one that threw me off was drippy. That's the word.
Drippy threw you off?
Yeah,
like drip.
The word.
It's like that, but it's like because the kids were playing gosh, what was it? Maybe they were looking at Fortnite? I don't know, but they were like, oh no, it's Splatoon. It was Splatoon. And he's like, I got the new shoes. They look drippy. I was like, what did you just say to me?
So I'm about ready to send him to his room.
What? Drippy? What is that?
Say that again, young man.
Like, it means you look cool. You got drip. I'm like, what? Now we put a Y on the end of this? Okay.
So we got on the scale, is he drippy or is he chopped? Which is like basically busted. What do you guys think?
Got it.
I'm old, so I'm just like, whatever.
Man. Yeah, it's that you feel old then. They start using those words around you. Ishwiz says, I troll John too much, not support. Good stuff times 2. Andy Ackerman says, Fringe, son of a mother who loves you.
Thank you.
Django says, thinking about $8 games in the digital push these days has me wondering, shouldn't digital games cost less than the physical versions? $80 physical and $50 or $60 digital, since copies don't have to be made for digital.
The problem is then storefronts get annoyed that people would rather prefer to buy digital than go with their physical copies, so they don't want the shelf space for it if they're not on par with digital storefronts.
Yeah, pretty much.
Every 6 months, Twitter rediscovers this conversation, and there's always a huge game dev consumer discourse. It's also the value of the digital. It's not, that's what it's based off of.
Like 80% of their market share is like people who see the game and think they want to buy it. So if they don't have a store to go to and look at it, they just don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Pacific Production says Nintendo is asking if Nintendo is bricking consoles because of people making derogatory usernames. I heard this from my friend, but I feel this is false info that got mixed up with a normal ban. Nintendo gets a lot for bricking already. There was a story about this. However, it turns out it wasn't tied to their name. The person did post back about it on Reddit. It was something else that caused their account or their Switch 2 to get banned, and then it got unbanned. So the Nintendo customer service fixed it for them. So it seems to be this story that was originally linked to their name that was something Link, I think, and then they reversed it. So unless there's another story about it, that's the one that I saw, looked into, and realized that it really was. People seem to think that every other Switch 2 system gets bricked. Like it's 50% of them are bricked. It's very interesting.
Because you have people that just go on YouTube and lie and get tons of views.
It is like a percent of a percent.
I'm telling you, that's why so many people, because people just go on YouTube and lie and make money doing it.
We should do a Spawncast episode where all we do is lie. I think that would be real rad.
Do you know when that's the story? Remember the story that came up about their EULA, the terms of service, that mentioned if a system is hacked or modified or something, that they can like brick your system or whatever they need to deactivate it or something. That came up, and I remember I dropped it in a chat, and immediately everybody was like, "Yeah, that's been there a while. That's not new."
Dude,
that's not new.
That terminology's been in like game consoles for a long time, and it's not just Nintendo.
Yeah, and it's different, I think, between us and Europe, because Europe has more of like right to work stuff. Mm-hmm. Like you can fix things and do stuff to it, so it doesn't.
I remember
easily.
Back in the day, in my hacking days, I had an Xbox 360 dev kit that I acquired illegally, and Microsoft remote bricked it. They remote red ringed it, straight up.
Wow, jeez,
straight up. Like the things that we're reading, we're talking about, are things that have been in game consoles for at least 20-something years at this point, maybe longer.
First time I saw it was in the Wii. The Wii has some terminology like that as well, but it's also in PlayStation. I think John Randall, or not John Randall. John, that's a football player.
Jake.
Jake. There we go. Jake.
Yeah, I was like,
John Randall,
literally,
the Hall of Famer.
I was
Jake
like,
Randall. He got his PS5 bricked for. He bought one and it was bricked. So and he talked about it, as well. It's on Twitter. You can see it. So that's just something that most of these companies can do if you pirate or if you do whatever, get something illegal or whatever the case is.
Yeah, I did see the people were sharing it that was in the Wii's like terms of service or whatever that we all just click right past. Maybe now people are actually reading them. That might be a good thing.
No,
actually,
generally
reading through them.
Do it.
Well,
summarize this for me.
Trust me, they're not going to be reading it when the PS6 comes out. It's not going to be any type of big conversation. Trust me, it's not. They're going to blow right by that.
I will be scrolling past it. I'm skipping all of it. AJ says, possible that all Battlefield 6 multiplayer is free to play and campaign access paid. We get a high budget single player and they get their online user numbers. I think the campaign is going to be like 4 or 5 hours. I don't think
$80.
I don't think it's a long campaign. I think the multiplayer is part of the package, unfortunately. I know there are people who would like to be free to play, obviously, but I think the campaign is going to be kind of short. Titanfall 2 size, like that, I think. Jeffrey Tucker says, my last 20 Mario Kart World Knockout Tour games had on average 10 bots. I rarely get a full lobby without bots.
Maybe you've been shadow banned.
I still don't think that's a reflection on the play counts, man. That's something else is causing that. I've seen that happen too, where you do a knockout tour and the last X number of races are bots, but I think really it's just more about the time. They just decide, hey, we're going to just fill in the last remaining with bots. But look at the number of Mario Kart sales that are out there. It's very hard for me to imagine that people aren't playing the game anymore.
Chief Adam says, with the tools and technology game developers have available improving, why hasn't the dev time of games gotten shorter? Because expectations get higher.
Yeah, I mean, games are more complex, budgets. People
like editing a video. Like, we have better tools than ever to edit videos in today's day, but that doesn't mean it's going to be, way, way, way quicker than what it was.
Just press the make game good button. Duh, guys. Technology, we got it.
Like the tools today in editing videos, it's crazy. It's so good, but still I still average about the same. On mine, at least.
Montoya Cruz says, where's the man at RGT? We miss you. He's taking tonight off. And in fact, MVG hasn't mentioned it. He's actually filling in for him. So shout out to MVG.
I am filling in for Sean tonight.
You haven't yelled once, like about sports.
He almost did. Kurakawa came in here built different 3-1, and MVG almost lost it. Living Legend says, I'm loving Bonanza. It's so satisfying when you could smash stuff up. I'm still early on trying to take my time and not rush it. It's not quite at Astrobot's level, but it's close.
So many spoilers in one super chat.
I feel it's such a different game than Astrobot. It's way more dynamic
than Mario or Astrobot.
Yeah, it just feels like it's such a different. Astrobot feels like a Mario Galaxy type situation, and Donkey Kong feels like a adventure platformer, like a completely different type to me, at least.
Right. Sterling Jones says new Joy-Con 2 colors when? Probably, they could. Here's the thing: they could do different Joy-Con colors a bit easier, obviously, and maybe they pair it with something. I would love to see them do something with Metroid Prime 4 for any of these accessories. I'm not even probably not the system, but Joy-Cons would be cool.
Just a shifter metallic, kind of like the armor. Look really nice.
Hey, that'd be cool. I'd be there for it. Varang says, if Nintendo bricks my Switch is the new lingo that Nintendo bricked up my Switch. Dang it! Shout out to Varang. Let's talk about our last topic tonight. Actually, is that Sony job listing that, my gosh, people have. I've seen some craziness on social media the last 24 hours. Ever since this job listing dropped, it has been like mayhem online. And okay, if you look at the job list, so I think it started really with Helldivers 2. That clearly threw people off because there were a lot of people who didn't think it made sense for Sony to port anything to the Xbox. And then Helldivers 2 gets moved to the Xbox at the $40 price point, and all of a sudden people are questioning, does Sony think that the Xbox community will buy games? That seemed to be the thing. It threw a lot of people off. And now we get this job listing, Senior Director, Multi-Platform and Account Management. All right. First of all, they say that PlayStation isn't just the best place to play, it's also the best place to work, just in case anyone was curious. But they say the multi-platform strategy leadership key responsibility is that you'll oversee the out-of-year mid-range commercial strategy for PlayStation Studios across titles across all non-PlayStation platforms, driving long-term revenue growth and audience reach. In this listing, though, they do mention playing a critical role, leadership role in shaping and executing the global commercial strategy for PlayStation Studios software titles across digital platforms beyond PlayStation hardware, include Steam, Epic Games Store, Xbox, Nintendo, and mobile. So they have now listed and named basically everything that's not PlayStation, and the idea of PlayStation Studios games specifically going to these other platforms. I kind of thought when I was looking through it, they were going to have live service in there somewhere, these live service multiplayer games. No, it's just PlayStation Studios in general. So now the thought process is, Sony, they're going multi-plat with some of their stuff beyond just PC and even just maybe Helldivers 2. They might legitimately start moving some stuff over to not only Xbox, but even like Switch 2. So this, man, there's a PlayStation guys that I follow, and they weren't sure which way was up yesterday.
It was red alert. It was red alert for them. But remember, I think we had a Spawncast where we talked about this when Helldivers came over, and I was thinking, man, I don't think it's just going to be this. Like, I think this is something that's going to be a bit more. I don't remember what Spawncast it was, but it was the one where we talked about Helldivers. And I thought that it'd be a bit more because of the amount of money that you need to make to operate the stuff at this point. By the way, that position pays really well. So if you want to apply for it, it's anywhere between $250,000 to $350,000. So go ahead and apply.
Oh, I see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
God, that's a beautiful salary band.
Yeah.
My response to that, literally, I wrote notes about this, was Becca and biz dev job. How much does it pay? That sounds incredible, but like, I'm curious, like, is this contract? Is this full time? Just get curiosity.
It's a full-time position, and it's a full-time position, and yeah, it pays really well, which a lot of these companies, I mean, if you do get into those positions, a lot of these companies do pay really, really well for it. But yeah, I mean, I think maybe what PlayStation is seeing, this is just me thinking, that they're not seeing the amount of sales that you would need to keep up with the rising cost of development. Now, if the PS5 can sell like the PS2 every single time, no problem, and have that amount, then maybe it'd be easier to say, okay, we're just going to keep everything on PlayStation. But you're not getting that. You're getting sales that are about equal or a little bit underneath like what you're seeing with the PS4. And then on top of that, like, we don't know how they're like stuff like Horizon, I think Forbidden West, like they haven't announced new sales numbers for that. Where's that at? Spider-Man kind of had its own like window, and it kind of just, I don't know how well that sold. They haven't given any updates for that. So I think they're just looking at some of the stuff that makes sense that they can bring over, and maybe that's already done, and they've already pretty much got the amount of money they're going to make off of it on PS5. They can bring it over to Xbox or something like that. That's what I'm thinking, and they've already done it a little bit. We have multiple. We have Lego Horizon. We have Patapon. Freedom Wars. We had some licensed stuff, smaller stuff. I think maybe like Gravity Rush comes over to like Switch 2 or something like that. But I think multiplayer for sure,
Yeah.
It does make sense to bring over some games in the catalog. User acquisition. I know we've talked about this so many times about how the console wars are dead, and user acquisition is extremely expensive. So it's way cheaper to give the percentage split to another platform and still make sales on those consoles, and possibly build a bigger fan base for people that wouldn't have played your games if they aren't a PlayStation platform kind of person. It just, the fact that they're hiring so, I guess early on, like not early, but like I guess in the PlayStation 5's life cycle for looking at what they're going to put onto other platforms makes me kind of nervous of what the rest of the PlayStation 5's catalog looks like for first party, if they're looking at new avenues right now. And I know that there's been conversations about the PS6 already, if that's in development. So that does make me feel a little nervous of why they're making this shift mid-console for this. But I'm curious to see where it goes. I'm also kind of curious to see like what the day-to-day of this position would look like. Because, like when you work with platforms, like just as a developer, you have a PM to help negotiate featuring, signing up for sales, being active on that platform. But I'm like, that would just be really funny to be like,
Celia,
I don't know.
Totally apply, Celia.
I know. Oh my God. Yeah.
You should totally apply. I'm serious.
Oh God, no, I love Shovel Knight. I can't leave. I have to see Mina through. But like, okay. Oh my God, my little lizard brain's like, hell yeah, 300,000.
Especially in California. That
Oh my God, like that, it makes me emotional. I'm getting too excited. But anyways, no, but I'm just really curious what that looks like, because it's like, just someone coming from first party going to another first party sounds so bizarre to me. But it is, obviously the current state of games right now. Xbox has been doing it. It's just funny to me. I don't know.
Well, I mean, the obvious thing here is when you look at the console market right now, I'm going to come from the PS4 and the Xbox One generation. Those combined most likely won't be reached by the PS5 and the Xbox Series combined. So I know a lot of that's the Xbox clearly not selling as well as the Xbox One. And it seems like the PS5 is keeping up with the PS4 with GTA 6. Probably will pass it. I don't think it's going to make up enough ground though. So we're kind of in this weird situation of the console market shrinking a bit generation. Man, these games keep getting more and more expensive. and it is kind of like, how do we find more money? And Microsoft found, it seems like they sold 3 million copies so far of Forza Horizon 5 just on PlayStation. So you kind of look at that if you're Sony and wonder if some of your old games would find new life on other platforms. And I think the Switch 2 is probably one of the best avenues for them with their legacy titles. You know, people have been kicking around something like Spider-Man. The licensing fees for that are high. I don't know what the negotiation is of, okay, now we're going to put Spider-Man on this other platform. If then Marvel or Disney or whatever comes back and looks for more money to release that, I'm not sure how that works. But the thing that I don't see as many people mention, and this is something else that'll be interesting for Xbox next generation, if they do merge together their PC and their Windows OS across everything. So if you publish a game on the Windows Xbox store or Windows gaming store, the cut is 12%, not 30%. And that is kind of interesting. If I don't know if Sony follows that and is like, wait, can we start moving stuff over? And then if they buy it from the Microsoft Xbox store, that merges in, and then that's 12%. I'm not sure if they're following along with that and thinking it might be worth to get out ahead of this now and just start populating the Xbox storefront. But that could be a reason why they might be looking at this a bit more seriously, other than just meeting people where they are and not trying to pull them to the PlayStation.
That's a lot more money, man. With the 12% cut instead?
They made that change 4 years ago. And it really never comes up much. And I think it's because it's specifically on the PC side, and not a lot of people use that gaming marketplace.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
See? There's go to Steam, right? And it's the same price either way to them for the consumer. But obviously, if you're a publisher and it's like 12 versus 30, is like, how do we get our games there and get people to buy it from there?
Yeah, that's the problem, is getting the user base to actually go there and pick it up.
What do you think, Celia? You're like making faces over there after I mentioned 12%. She didn't even know what to say.
The mute symbol is not on, so the microphone might just be unplugged or off.
Oh, that's why you guys have been ignoring me. Okay.
Well.
Yeah, okay. That's why you were saying I was making faces. I'm like, I was talking to you guys. Okay. I was making faces at the consumer buying habits. It's like the biggest problem is trying to get people to buy it over there. And it's like, that's a whole other obstacle as it is. User acquisition's difficult, but the purchasing ecosystem for that platform is a whole other beast.
Yeah, so I don't know how that works when they fuse everything together. If that still, like, the 12% then translates over to the Xbox, and then in turn the ROG Ally Xbox and any of the other PC handhelds that use it. But for Sony, I mean, that's a lot of money. If they can get people to buy there, and it works across PC as well. But I think the Switch 2 is the most intriguing thing for them right now. It's clearly the big thing in Japan. And I almost wonder what franchise they'd even be comfortable moving over to Nintendo's platform. Because I'm sure Sony does see them a bit more competitive now versus with the Switch 1, but it's still not something they're really going to be able to stand up to in Japan.
Yeah, I think the I said Gravity Rush, I think would be a great one to bring over. I think that would do well. All of the Sony Japan studio stuff. I mean, you
Shadow
have
of the Colossus remake.
Yeah, and Folklore, you could maybe bring that back. I mean, there's a ton of different stuff that Sony Japan did over the years that I think would be pretty good if they brought that stuff over. I think it would sell well. I don't know about some of the bigger stuff. It might be a little bit harder to get ported over or whatever. Or probably they might not want to do it at all. But if you're talking about Japan, like what they can do in Japan, that would be ideal, especially for Gravity Rush, because that movie is still happening. There's zero brand synergy right now, because they got rid of Sony Japan Studio, and we don't know about any game that they're doing for Gravity Rush. So I mean, I think a game plus the movie could be really good.
What do you think, MVG? Which game, if you were Sony, would you be comfortable moving to the Switch to?
Well,
that's not Gravity Rush.
There are two games that I keep thinking about when it comes to this stuff. It's easy just to say live service games like Fair Games and Helldivers and all that stuff. They're probably going to end up right, but Days Gone is one of the games I keep thinking about because, I mean, it's been around for a while, let's be honest, but it's also on PC. And I think it's, people love that game. It's been around, for a long time. I think when it launched, it wasn't very good, but it's been, it's in a lot better place now these days.
And even recently, I feel like there's been an uptick in interest for it, just randomly.
The other game, and you guys going to think I'm crazy, would be Returnal. I think Returnal on the Switch 2 would be phenomenal. I would love to play. I would double dip. I would double dip for Returnal on Switch 2.
Returnal Portable would be really good. I think I'd actually go back.
Killer. That would be absolutely killer.
That's actually probably my favorite game from them this generation is probably. I'm trying to think. It's probably Returnal. Yeah, I beat that game. I really like it a lot. So.
Like, I don't think, Ratchet and Clank, the Spider-Mans, any of that stuff is applicable. At least at this point, I don't think they're the games that we're thinking of. I think those more niche, older titles could easily come across and do really well.
I like the optimism that Fair Games is coming out. I appreciate it.
I didn't think about Returnal, but yeah, that game's awesome. Was that 2021, right? That was like
it was right after it launched.
I remember playing it, but it's a lot better now than it was then. From what I've seen, it's got co-op modes and it's got they added stuff to it. So, but I haven't went back and played it yet.
I do still wonder if they would make the move with Horizon.
Well, if they're gonna do that, would it just be the rumored games as a service game, like day and date everything?
It could also be that. They really want Horizon to be popular. They really want it to be. And MVG, I think you bring up a good point with Days Gone in that they've recently done that remake for it. So it's been updated internally, the whole thing, right? They've recently updated through that remaster that everyone was annoyed with, but with Horizon Zero Dawn, and it's complete edition, that whole thing. It almost feels like those kind of releases are set up to just be sort of ported over without as much work if they had to go back and significantly overhaul something else and just try it. Horizon, to their credit, is popular. They say it is. They've also mentioned, I think, that it's very popular with females as well as males, across the board. So it's just general audience. Everyone seems to like it. So I'm thinking of those ones that cast a wide net. And I know they are also very protective of Horizon, it feels like, but I think it's there. It's a teen-rated game, so it lines up for general audiences, and it worked on the PS4. So that, if I had to take a guess, we're just watching the direct at some point a year from now or something, and then Aloy shows up, and it's Horizon's coming to Switch too.
Yeah, I just thought just because of all the stuff that they've done, some of the smaller games, like I said, they've already got Patapon and. I think there's the golf game. What was that? They have the they have the Hot Shots coming up, and then they have Freedom Wars, which they own all of those. And those are I guess they're licensed.
They licensed the Bandai Namco, and Bandai Namco is developing it and everything.
Yeah. So, but I mean,
I would love those Japan studio games to come over. My only hesitation there is, number one, do they even have a team that can do that work? And two. Do they even have? Is the code what's the state of those games? Because we haven't heard about those games in a very long time.
Oh yeah, that's true. Especially Gravity Rush is fairly. I think that's on PS4, so that wouldn't be too hard. But yeah, Folklore and some of the other ones, those ones are super. I don't know if they're crusty. I don't know what's going on with that because they haven't done anything with that game. But it's a really cool game, and if it was touched up a little bit, I think people would dig it. But it is. Most people probably haven't played it. I enjoyed it when I played it back in the day. It probably needs some touch ups though from the PS3.
I saw some people mention Astrobot in the chat. That game is so centered around the DualSense.
It's too tied to the. It's not just the DualSense. It's also the console as well, right?
The history,
the history of the legacy of the PlayStation. I can't see that on any other platform for that reason alone.
Yeah. And I think they also are trying to build up Astro as the PlayStation kind of mascot they can throw anywhere, and they got to keep releasing games. So, although I will say the Team Asobi does seem to have a fondness of Nintendo, so that's the only thing where I'm maybe, but it's so tied and geared to the PS5. So Let's see. Shinru says, "Evening all. What is everyone's thoughts about Ubisoft's EULA about telling customers to uninstall and destroy all copies? Apparently, they can update their EULAs at any time. Ubisoft boycott incoming. Destroy. Oh yeah, I saw that going right. Again, to MG's point about the Wii having this stuff with bricking consoles, Rockstar has a EULA that says you have to destroy your physical copies as well. This is no one reads them, which I can only imagine what they believe you're going to do with your game. Like, I don't know, you're gonna beat it with a hammer or something. I have no idea. But yes, that is a ridiculous clause in a EULA that no one is going to follow.
Yeah. I'm going to do it, actually.
Well, I mean, they're telling you to do it.
Yeah,
Good job.
I'll pull out a
no
mallet.
control. Your arms just start moving on their own. You're like, oh god.
Yeah, I'm gonna just a big ass like Looney Tunes mallet and just smack the shit out of it. Watch.
Horn says, I think the Switch 2 Pro controller is too slick. The control, like the stick. Any fix? I don't know. It's too slick. I mean, it's too sensitive. I think the Switch 2 Pro controller is one of the better like feeling controllers in terms of usability.
Is he saying it slides out of your hands? You might need a degreaser.
It's like rubberized like plastic though. Does it really?
I don't know.
Huh.
That's all I'm picturing in my head is this person might need to put like glue sticks on their hands and just go for it.
You may need so maybe they'll have like these companies I'm sure release skins for them and
Sandpaper
stuff on the
gloves.
back where you can kind of that. But it could be you might need to look out for one of those stickers, like they have the skins you can stick to the back of it, like the Joy-Cons have those, the Joy-Con 2s that I have. I added those and it did help a lot. But the rubberized plastic I think is pretty good on the Pro controller.
If his hands are just really sweaty, he should look into that.
Medically.
Yeah, like go to a doctor, please.
Man, y'all, he gives you guys
throwing
some
that out
support.
as
You
well.
call them greasy fingers.
Yeah, no.
fingers.
We're looking out for him,
Butterball.
OJ. We're looking
No, if you
out
are
for him.
profusely sweating on your hands to the point where
Grease
it's
master.
like slippy slideys, like there's something going on there. I'm not being mean or
Slip and
joking.
slide. Y'all
Yeah,
here
when you go to the doctor and he
disrespected.
says, "What's wrong?" Just say, "I have the case of the slip and slideys," and he'll help you right out. You know?
He'll know.
My
He'll
hands are
call the
drippy.
nurse in. He'll press the
My
alarm.
hands are drippy now.
Got
can't
too much
escape
drippy.
Frostbite said Ratchet and Clank would be amazing on Switch 2. Manada Mario. Shout out says, do you guys think Switch 2 and DK Bonanza's underwhelming sales in Japan recently is a sign that Switch 2 is flopping in Japan? Some
What?
do think so.
No.
No.
That is a direct link to the slop tube lying. So that's what he's being sarcastic, but that's a direct link to somebody who made a video, saying that.
I mean, the Switch 2 is the fastest selling system in Japan. Like,
we need to do a lie cast where we lie, like the whole piss off everyone. It'll be awesome.
I'll say this: if Switch 2 is flopping and failing in Japan, the Japanese industry is dead. It is gone, and it is never coming back. Because have you seen the sales of the other platforms in Japan, like PlayStation and Xbox? The whole Japanese industry is dead if Switch 2 doesn't do well. It's completely gone.
It says, hypothetically, if future PS5 exclusives release day and date on Switch 2, would consumers still be incentivized to buy PS5 instead of the Switch 2? Yeah, because the PS5 is going to run the games better and they're going to look better. I mean, it's just the Switch 2 has convenience and the PS5 would have visuals. So, especially like PS6, we don't even know what that's going to be like. So, I think there is still a home console market for people who are looking for 4K or 8K or something. So, I think it's still there. Mecha Omar says, I'm cool with the cross-platform direction. Everything is going. But geez, what was that Sony versus Microsoft Activision court case? Colossal waste of time. Well, yeah. Dennis says, I used to buy every Sony console all the way till the PS4. Then I got Switch. Enjoy the portability, and I love my Switch too. Would like a Ratchet port.
Ratchet port would
Maybe
be
Ratchet
cool.
and Clank would do well. I don't know. Maybe it would.
I want to see that. Shadow of Colossus, Jack and Daxter.
What about The Last Guardian?
I actually never played that one. I used to have like a
so
billion,
good.
not a
So
billion,
good.
but I had a master case of t-shirts of The Last Guardian. Because I went to GameStop Expo and they just handed it to me because it was like during the, like, I don't know, they're giving out to managers. And then like, I guess they brought too many. And so I just ended up with a box. I'm such a poser. I probably have a few left.
Let me go around here.
Shirt's a free shirt, though. I mean,
I know, but a box of free shirts is excessive to like the point. Like, as a master, like it was a
box
huge
of free
box.
shirts is a box of free shirts.
Yeah,
though.
that was when they were in Anaheim, and so I was local and drove there, which was very dangerous of me just getting free shit. It was a good time. I miss that.
Go around here as we finish up. All the good people on the panel here are linked down below in the description. Let's start with Celia, since you're telling about your t-shirts.
Yeah. If you want to follow me, you can. I'm on a podcast with Josie, Sean, and Nate called Game and Talk. We chat on Wednesdays, and on Fridays, I stream games. It's real fun. In addition to that, you can follow me on Twitter. I'm Celia B with 3 E's, and on Instagram, I'm Kosher Gamer. And yeah, it's real fun. Thanks.
Mr. Jordan Fringe. Good to see you back.
Yeah.
Where can I find you, sir? What's in the works?
No, it was nice to be here. Yeah, you can find me online, Jordan Fringe, YouTube. Working on a few bigger videos, a bunch of the regular content, but a few things that are taking up a lot of time, and just been traveling a lot. And I'll be at Pokemon Worlds in Anaheim next month, so that'll be exciting. I think I legally have to say here, if I'm mentioning that, thanks to the Pokemon Company. So
hashtag ad, hashtag sponsored.
Hey,
yeah, legally I have to say that, but yeah. So thanks for having me on. It was fun.
Good to see Jordan here. Let's go over to MVG.
You can find me on YouTube at Modern Vintage Gamer. I make YouTube videos, and I'm also a game developer at Limited Run Games. Thank you for having me on, John. It's been a pleasure.
That's very formal. The whole thing.
Oh, and by the way, rest in peace to Ozzy Osbourne. Lost a real one this week.
Yep. Shout out. No, yep.
Rest in peace to Malcolm Jamal Warner as well.
Let's go over to OJ. Where can I find you, sir?
Yeah, find me right here on YouTube. I've covered Nintendo and RPG stuff. Got some videos going up on Persona 3 Reload, potentially Metaphor ReFantazio coming over to Switch 2. Gonna have more RPG videos that I'm doing, some top lists and all that. So yeah, if you like that. And I stream pretty much daily, all the time. Crazy stuff just happens. I say all sorts of stuff. So if you want to hang out, you can too. Appreciate that. Player Essence on YouTube. Appreciate all you guys chatting with me tonight. It was super fun.
And let's go to Evan.
You can find me on socials or YouTube or Twitch at Kimmerix Project. If you're into tabletop stuff, I'm trying to look into getting a few more videos out hopefully soon. Maybe looking into some other, systems that might be popping up just to tinker around with some interesting ideas. Could be fun.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Boom. And he says, you guys hoping for Welcome to our DLC every day?
I've been waiting on that.
Just like, man.
It's not going to be free. It's going to be tied to the online that you pay for, just like the last one was.
That physically hurts.
Solomon Battle says, what's your prediction for Switch 2 Direct next week? Video games. We did a whole spot on that, but we have some thoughts. Also, guess what you're going to see on Monday or Tuesday when the announcement happens? You're probably going to see like 80 videos pop up about predictions. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. Maybe the crystal ball will pop out on Sean's channel. So get ready.
The crystal ball. I got to steal it like I did that one time where it was Sean's body but my face.
Yeah, you got to do that. Yeah.
I gotta do that. Like, wait a minute, hold up, OJ. Hold on. What's happening here?
Thanks everyone for tuning in. We'll be back next Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern time, and we'll see you guys then.
Think for yourself.
I was gonna say